Yes, hi, Mr. Sachin. Welcome on board. And you're from Bangalore right now, is it?
Yes, sir. I'm
Do
from
you
Bangalore.
natively belong to Bangalore?
No, sir. I was born and brought up in Bangalore, but my parents are from Kerala, Palakkad.
Okay. So even today, your parents live in Kerala only.
No, sir. They have been settled in Bangalore from past around 25 years, but
Okay,
all our assets are in Kerala, but we are settled here for the educational as well as my parents' employment purpose.
okay. So possibly you might be knowing Malayalam also, Kannada also. Yes?
Yes, sir. And Tamil and Telugu as well. So I can
Telugu.
understand
Okay.
Telugu and speak it, but I cannot read Telugu. And
Hmm.
Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, I can read, write, and speak.
Okay. What is the reason you have you got some extra interest in learning languages, or what is the point? Because I see so
Uh,
many students, they struggle with one or two languages also, and you know so many languages.
yes, sir. So I have been always interested in learning various languages. And the other thing is, I think being in Bangalore has helped me a lot. Bangalore is a cosmopolitan city. There are people from all walks of life here. There are a very huge Malayali population. There is a very huge Telugu, Tamil population as well. So that has helped me a lot. And my father, he has worked in Tirupur for 4 years in Tamil Nadu. And as we belong from Palakkad, that's also, bordering to Tamil Nadu. So that's how I picked up Tamil from my dad as well as our background. And Kannada, I've been here for like past 20, 25 years. So that's how I learned it. And Telugu, of course, from the movies. So I love movies. So that's how I learned Telugu.
Okay. Yes, have you learned any foreign language as well?
I've been learning a little bit of German recently. It's been around 3 months since I'm learning German. Uh, all the basic vocabulary, I think I can manage them, but still to have a communication with a native German, I think it would be pretty difficult.
Okay. Can you just tell me how many languages our constitution recognize?
22 languages officially.
22 languages. And the list of these languages is given in which schedule?
I'm not aware of that, sir. Sorry.
Okay. In total, how many schedules are there?
I'm not aware of that as well.
Okay. Can you just tell me who is famously known as the father of Indian Constitution?
Mr. B.
Okay. And Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, can you tell me his date of birth?
I'm not aware of it,
No
sir. I'm
idea.
really sorry.
Right. Anyway, coming on, actually, I got to know that you have completed your mechanical engineering in 2022.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
and thereafter you have been working with some organization. So, being a mechanical engineer, having some other kind of job, now looking for IIM Lucknow Agri-Business Management. So, I'm not able to connect the dots. Okay, can you just convince me why you want to pursue this agri-business management? Yes.
Yes, sir. So my parents, they both are from basically agricultural background. So while they were in Kerala, they were in the field of agriculture. But the amount of income that they were able to make from agriculture was very less. And me and my sister, we are two siblings. So they thought that it would be better if they moved to an urban setting and worked in urban factory rather than working in an agricultural field so that they could earn even a little bit higher and it could also help for my and my sister's employment as well as educational ability. But I think that if we empower these farmers, for example, my parents, if we could have empowered them, then there would have been no reason for them to move away from their native homes and settle in a alien, city and start all over again. So I think even we consider, we downplay it, moving from one city to another city. It has a very mental impact because all of the people around us are very unfamiliar faces, and it would take us a couple of days to couple of years also to figure out how to manage things and how to go around stuff. So I think my parents' biggest strength were their own agricultural knowledge, but they could not implement this agricultural knowledge for their own benefits to make some income and to help their kids. So I think this is a huge impact that I have in my life to focus on agribusiness management so that I could help these farmers who have vast amount of knowledge, this generational knowledge about each and every crops, but at the same time they are not able to implement them. So I think if we help out these farmers a little bit more, then they do not have to move away from their respective hometown to a city looking for better employment opportunities.
Okay. So the purpose happens to be by undergoing this particular program, you want to develop any such mechanism or business model where actually you can help the farmers stay in the local areas itself, is it?
Yes, sir. So
Okay, but at
if
the
we look
same time, see, let us get into the details now. I want to
yes, sir.
understand what is your observation of Indian agricultural sector? What problems genuinely the farmers are facing, and why actually the farmers are compelled to move out and leave their traditional profession? Okay, yes. What's your
So
observation about the complete agricultural sector?
yes, sir. So if you look at India, at least the southern part of India, most of the rivers that are flowing through the southern parts of India are seasonal rivers, right? So we wait for the rainfall to bless us with their water droplets so that uh, we could use this water to irrigate. But I think there is a lot of irrigation issues in our country, so through which we are unable to you know logistically transform this water from the various rivers to the farmlands. So that's an issue. That's issue number one. And the other issue is due to the climate change at the climate change issues which are happening right now. A lot of seasonal rains aren't seasonal anymore. It's The rains are not predictable when they come and when they don't. So that's why it's kind of hard to predict about the floods and droughts of this country. That's reason number two. The reason number three is that even though the southern part of India has so much of land, yeah, I agree that northern part of India has fertile plains and southern has plateaus. But even though we have so much amount of land, we are unable to efficiently use this land to produce maximum amount of output from whatever the land gets. So I think that's another reason. So these three are the main reason which I believe why the farmers aren't able to utilize their land properly. And to tackle these issues, I believe that we should conduct a really good survey about each and every land or each and every town specifically on how to improve their produce or how to efficiently manage the piece of land that they have. For example,
See,
uh,
Sachin, see, I guess even the government of India and the state governments, they also understand the issues. And I think in the last 10 years, the Modi government has taken so many steps and has launched so many schemes also. Can you just
yes,
highlight a few schemes launched by the Modi government for the field of agriculture?
yes, sir. So, first one would be the irrigation projects. I do not remember the main scheme name, unfortunately, but the irrigation project is number one, which that comes to my mind. So, a lot of lands have been have uh, have been getting access of better irrigation recently because of the scheme of Mr. Modi. And when we look into our, my ancestral crop, that is, we cultivate rubber in our state, Kerala. My parents, they cultivate rubber as well as paddy. So when it comes to the rubber, uh, Modi government is trying to, give a better price for each kg of rubber. For example, right now, 1 kg of rubber is 152 rupees. And recently, because of the coming Lok Sabha elections, as well as coming Kerala election, the government of India,
I remember, Sachin, when Modi came to power in 2014, his promise was by 2022 to double the income of the farmers.
yes, sir.
Okay, so 10 years, if you can just retrospect and if you can comment, Are you satisfied with the working of this government,
So,
especially pertaining to agriculture?
when it comes to satisfaction or unsatisfaction, I believe that it's a relative feeling for some, because agriculture is a very vast field, right? We cannot focus on each and every crop. So if you look at one crop, the farmer cultivating that crop might not be satisfied. But if you look at another crop, the farmer cultivating that could be satisfied. I believe that our government has a positive outlook. They have a positive,
So if I put the
motivation.
question in this manner, if you were the Agriculture Minister of India, what steps you would have taken?
So as we all know, like couple of years ago, our government tried to implement the farm laws. So I believe that it was a very good initiative at giving a.
And why actually the farmers were opposing?
So I think there was a lot of misinformation, and the another reason would be farm the main stakeholders would have been the multinational companies rather than the farmers itself. So I think farmers believed that if the main stakeholders and if the main power would go to the multinational companies, then there would be a monopoly which would build up in the farmers market. So if when there is a monopoly, I think the if you look at even Jio and Airtel, how they're playing right now with the telecommunication market, it's a duopoly, right? But if there was a monopoly even in the telecommunication sector, I think we would have never got such cheap prices of internet. And at the same time, what the farmers believe that because of the policies that the farm laws implemented were trying to implement, the power would have been imbalanced. The power would have shifted from the farmers to the multinational companies or to the huge businessmen. So I think the farmers felt that their voice would not be heard much, and if a monopoly would be created, then they would not get better prices.
But I think there were many advantages which actually these
Yes,
new
sir.
farm bills had. And I personally believe that it was unfortunate that the Modi
Yes,
government was
sir.
forced to take back all those laws. So, see, when actually the farmers themselves are not supporting the government for implementing some big changes, how we can visualize, how we can envisage uh, transforming the agriculture sector. Okay, so don't you feel like the farmers, and especially the way for 1 year the demonstration was going on, okay, at the border of our NCR, and the way it got politicized, so that actually was a setback for the complete agricultural sector. Okay, you agree with this? And if you were the agriculture minister in that time, okay, when this opposition and everything was going on, if you were the agriculture minister, how you would have convinced the farmers? Or could you have given, or could you have made some extra proposal, or was it possible to strike a balanced agreement between these both the parties, the government and the farmers? I want to understand what actually went wrong, why the government was not able to get them implemented. Was the government too rigid or the farmers were too rigid?
So I think both of them were rigid. So I think the government's motive was never bad. So that's what I believe. The government motive was to genuinely increase the farmers' income. And when it comes to the question, what I would have done if I was a agricultural minister, I think there should have been a better, communication as well as understanding between both the parties. I do not believe that the farm law, while implementing the or while making the farm laws, we took enough opinions from the farmers or the or various farmers group. And as farming itself is a very complicated stuff because there are a lot of products involved. There are cash crops, there are crops that we consume. There are a lot of stuff that are very complicated. So when we look into our tax system as well, there are very stages of tax systems. So I think similarly, rather than giving out a single policy for each and every crop, I think no, rather than giving a single policy for every crop, we should have had a particular policy for different crops. For example, when we look into a black pepper should have a particular property or particular policy which states that okay, this is what black pepper requires. So is what we provide. And when it comes to wheat, the so and so is what the wheat commodity requires. So and so is what we need. And I think farm laws was a little bit more rushed. That's what I believe. It should have taken a couple of more years to understand the intricacies of each and every
But
crop and
we
then.
see one more thing, Sachin. During all these demonstrations, we have seen that especially the farmers of Punjab and Haryana, they were demonstrating maximum, and rest of the Indian farmers, they were actually okay with the new laws also. So I want to understand why this regional difference was there. Okay, why the farmers of Punjab especially were more concerned about the new laws? What is your understanding on this?
Yes, sir. So when we look into the farmers' income all over India, when we look into the data, we can clearly see that the farmers of Punjab and Haryana are having higher income compared to the farmers of the rest of the country. So I think that as they are already in the as they're already getting all the benefits from the existing farm laws, so they believe that if the existing farm laws change, then they would stop getting these benefits. And as they have already amassed, as they are already having higher income, they have higher power and higher spending uh, quality to come and protest in around the our national capital region. So I think they felt that they would come under a disadvantage if the new farm laws are implemented, while the current farm laws are being advantageous to them.
I, I personally feel like what the government of India should have done is possibly after implementing the new bills, the choice should have been given to the state governments. Okay, at least in some of the states where the government was also okay with the new laws, the farmers were also not opposing. At least in those states, they would have implemented them. And just because of the opposition of one or two states repealing the laws for the whole country, I think that was not good enough. The choice should have been given to the states. How do you take this suggestion?
No, sir, I do not believe that this would be a very good suggestion because
Reason.
when we look into India, there is a ruling party which is the NDA, and there is a opposition which is India Alliance right now, India. So when we look into that, it's right now India's political spectrum is a little, you know, little complicated. So whatever the laws may it be good or bad, the government of India, current government of India brings, it becomes the opposition's job to oppose it while taking the disadvantage of every law. For example, as you mentioned, it is a very good initiative. Yes, that each and every state should have given the right to oppose or take it. But when we look into our country, Punjab is currently ruled by the Aam Aadmi Party, and Tamil Nadu is ruled by DMK. Kerala is ruled by Communist Party of India. Those all three come under the India Alliance, right? So India Alliance's job because their whole motive was to oppose the farm laws. So even if it helps the farmers of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, but it does
Yeah,
not
that's
help.
okay. See, but nothing can be done because of the governments in these states. They are from the opposition parties. Possibly they may not support the central government. But at least when we talk about the states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, or some other states where possibly the government is willing to implement. Okay, so I think at least if that option was given to the state governments, at least in a majority of Indian states or some of Indian states, we would have had the new bills. And considering the benefits in the coming years, the rest of the states would have understood whether we should go along with it or not. I think complete cancellation or taking back of the laws, that was a setback for the agricultural sector. And any big transformation in the coming future, then the government will actually abstain from doing, isn't it? Chalo, anyway,
True.
let us leave it right now and tell me one thing. Have you heard about Dr. Swaminathan?
Uh, can you explain which field from is?
Dr. Swaminathan, the man who was phenomenal for bringing green revolution to India.
Yes, sir. I do not know much about that person, but I do.
Just 4 5 months back, he was in news. Can you tell me for what?
I'm not aware, sir. I'm sorry
Okay,
for that.
unfortunately, he died at the age of, I guess, 93 or 97, just
Yes,
four,
sir.
5 months back. And the new bills, the agricultural bills which we are discussing, okay, they were based on the recommendation of Dr. Swaminathan committee only. Okay, and Dr.
Yes, sir.
Swaminathan was the chairman of the committee, and this man was phenomenal for having green revolution in India. Can you tell me which was the first country in the world to have green revolution? It started
I'm
from
not.
where?
I'm not aware, sir. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
can you name the scientist who was phenomenal for starting green revolution across the world? The very first country, that man was phenomenal. You might have heard about the name. No? Dr. Norman Borlaug. Have you heard about?
I have heard the name, but I couldn't recall.
Okay, okay. Right. Who started white revolution in India?
George Kurian.
It is Varghese Kurian.
Uh,
Varghese Kurian. Okay.
Varghese
Can you tell
Kurian.
me
Yes, sir.
pink revolution is associated with?
Pink Revolution. I'm not aware, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Can you tell me what is the difference between organic farming and zero budget farming?
Uh, so when it comes to organic farming, the fertilizers that we use are organically produced. There are no, chemicals involved. And when it comes to zero budget farming, there is no fertilizer that is used. All
Okay.
this,
Carry on, carry on.
so all the things that are present in the uh, land, all the nutrients that are present in the land are only used for zero budget farming. But when it comes to organic, the fertilizer that we use uh, are produced organically and not through chemicals.
Okay. So which state has become the first state to have 100% organic farming?
I'm not aware, sir.
Okay, okay. How many states are there in India?
28,
28 states are there. And how many UTs are there?
8 union territories.
Okay, 8 UTs are there. Okay. Uh, can you give some examples as Government of India and globally? Okay, we are celebrating the International Year of Millets. Okay, can you tell me or give some examples of millets?
I'm not aware, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, okay, okay. And what name has been given to millets by the Prime Minister or the Government of India? There's a specific name given to millets. No?
No, sir.
Okay, no problem at all. Who is the Agriculture Minister of India?
I cannot recall, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, okay. And who is the Agriculture Minister of Karnataka?
I'm not aware, sir.
Okay, who is the Governor of Karnataka?
Uh,
Okay,
uh,
okay, no problem at all. Come on, tell me a few more things. See, I suggest that, and I believe that technological advancements they can be actually used for the upliftment of the agriculture sector also. And anyway, you have such planning also that after completing this course, you want to have such a business model. So, have you thought about any such business model, and in what way you are going to actually achieve the kind of goals which you want to pursue? Any business idea, any business model which you are going to execute after completing this course? Can you highlight that?
yes, sir. So at the moment, what I'm actually looking for is to get into the field of rural marketing or marketing in FMCG sector, so that whatever the produce that the farmers are producing right now, that should reach to the right audiences. So when it reaches to the right audiences, then only we can increase the income of the farmers. For example, when ITC their main motive back in the day was creating tobacco products, right? So the tobacco farmers, when they work together with the ITC company, so then their income had had a very significant improvement. So I think there are a lot of companies right now in our country, such as Jubilant Foodworks, ITC, Hindustan Unilever, a lot of Nestle. There are a lot of FMCG companies who requires a particular, quality or variety of products that the farmers produce. So I think if we could somehow connect these farmers with these multinational companies, then with this one change, there could be very significant improvement in the lives of many and many farmers in our country. And when it comes to the technology that we that's plays a very key role in agriculture, when we look into Netherlands at the moment, so Netherlands is one of the uh, highest agricultural producing European countries, even though their climate and their geographical location is in a disadvantages to them. But the technology that they use is called step farming or vertical farming. So the thing is, when they use vertical farming, if we have, let's say, an acre of land, if they could do vertical farming, they can produce almost 2 acre of land output using only 1 acre of land. So I think that is something that we should focus upon as well.
Okay, okay, okay. Can you tell me about any such a startup in the field of agriculture which has really inspired you in the last 1 or 2 years?
Um, uh, yes, sir. Yes. So there is this one startup. Just a second. I do not
That's
remember
okay.
its
That's okay.
name.
If you don't know the
Yeah,
name, you can just
yeah.
tell me the business model of that.
Yes, so I do not remember its name, but its main motive is to, uplift the milk farmers of Karnataka. So the startup is in Bangalore. So it started by one Mr. I don't remember his name as well. So, but my friend, one of my really closest friend, was working for the startup as a sales executive. So their main motive was to increase the uh, income of the milk farmers in Karnataka. So what they did was, their milk, whatever these farmers produce, what it happens when it comes to when it comes to bigger companies like Milma or Nandini, is that these milks are collected, pasteurized, and then sent it to various outlets in and around Karnataka. But their milk is it has a very good logistical advantage that they take the milk on a day before, and they try to maximize their logistical speed in such a way that this milk would reach the consumer within 4 hours of taking it out of the cow. So this is something that I felt as a very good initiative, because there are no added preservatives, there is no added chemicals, there is nothing in the milk that would keep the milk uh, uh, let's say uh, full of chemicals. And
Okay.
at the same time, the consumers are ready to pay a premium price for not having any you know
Fine, fine,
preservatives in it.
Sachin. Okay, okay. One last question from my side. After having so much of discussion, still, if I want a clear cut and direct answer, why should we take you? Just give the answer in 30 seconds and the interview is over.
Yes, sir. So I believe that as my background is, as my parents' background are from agriculture, so I think that I would be a really good fit for this company, fit for this institution. And at the same time, I am a person who, utilizes the opportunity to a full extent. So I think IIM Lucknow, this opportunity of the program of ABM could equip me to do something which will impact the society in a positive way. So I have this, mutual feeling that if we work together, then all our both our motivations aligns to a single output. So I think you should take me for the same.
Okay, Sachin, thank you very much for being with us and all the best. See you soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.